This is the Turquoise Museum in Albuquerque, New Mexico. A big museum all about the Land of Enchantment's most famous gemstone. The museum is located inside of this imposing Gothic mansion in a very unexpected spot right in the middle of downtown Albuquerque. It's very bizarre and out of place compared to the surrounding buildings. It's near the site of the Cole Avenue Viaduct for trains. This plaque tells about it. It was demolished in the 1930s. So, this unusual castle in downtown Albuquerque is actually not that old at all. It was built here in 2008 by a rather eccentric woman named Gertrude Zachary. She ran a successful turquoise jewelry business here, and in her later years built this big mansion, the only one around, designed based off of French chateaus. She passed away in 2013, so the Turquoise Museum relocated into her mansion soon after. This is going to be a very unique setting for this. The grounds of the home feature all sorts of interesting decorations, statues, and fountains. There's a cool old bar sign. That appears to be an old-fashioned guard booth at the front gate. Alright, let's head inside the Turquoise Museum and learn all about turquoise. The entrance to the mansion is spectacular. There appears to be strings of turquoise hanging from that 3-story high skylight, a turquoise chandelier if you will. Gertrude Zachary also collected antiques and filled this house with all sorts of stuff. It appears some of it is left over, like these religious carvings. These look like they could have been taken out of a Gothic cathedral. This is a privately owned and operated museum run by the Lowry family, who for 5 generations now have been involved in turquoise mining, crafting, and education. So this museum is clearly very personalized, with all sorts of great distinctive exhibit designs, and features that aren't as common in some more bureaucratic museums. I personally always love seeing the vision of one person or family in their attractions, so this will be fun to explore. Here is the fanciful front parlor of the mansion, which features some of the crown jewels of the turquoise collection. Above the fireplace mantle is a very interesting and famous turquoise stone, known as the George Washington stone. That chunk of turquoise was cut in 1974 and was found to have the appearance of George Washington's profile. Similar to the one on a quarter, it has become arguably the most famous and photographed piece of turquoise in the entire world. Here are some fancy dresses with elaborate turquoise necklaces. A really intricate turquoise chip mask made in Mexico. That is pretty cool. It kind of resembles the famous Mayan jade masks. The parlor has some non-turquoise features too, like a piano. Here is a turquoise inlaid chalice. This is a turquoise revolver, a Smith & Wesson Magnum with inlaid turquoise on the handle. That is a turquoise carving, carved by an Italian artist. Here's a neat turquoise necklace made by a Navajo woman. The Navajo are big on turquoise. And that's a turquoise horse necklace. Yes, that was worn by a horse with some serious swagger. This mansion even has an elevator with a gilded door. Now heading into the Gallery of Mines. There's some sort of antique statue. This room features rocks and turquoise recovered from various turquoise mines here in the West. The Lowry family has owned some mines for decades. Bisbee, Arizona near Tombstone was a prime mining region. Most of the natural turquoise deposits in America are located here in New Mexico, but there are also lots of them in Arizona, Colorado, and Nevada. Here are some samples from the Sleeping Beauty mine of Arizona, one of the most famous in the world. They definitely have a lot of turquoise on display here. This does certainly fulfill my expectations. Have you seen enough turquoise yet? These are from the Darling Darlene mine in Nevada. That's a good name. The setting of the museum and these beautiful rooms is definitely a standout. It works really well for a turquoise museum. There's some sort of warrior archangel statue. Here are some samples of New Mexico turquoise. Some of the best deposits in the world are located within the Cerritos Hills between Albuquerque and Santa Fe. The turquoise trail goes through there. I need to take that someday. These are from the No. 8 mine in Nevada. Here is a lunchbox filled with turquoise. Small deposits of turquoise can be found at big copper and gold mines, so workers there will sometimes fill their lunchbox with the turquoise and sneak it out to sell themselves. Here are some turquoise formations that were too thin to cut from their host rocks. They seem to have samples from every mine imaginable here in the US. There's more than I thought there were. Here is a turquoise mineral chart, showing how the coloration and appearance of turquoise can be different between various mines. This office room has a fancy chandelier and some stained glass. The stained glass here is a nice touch. There is even a replica turquoise mine within the museum. So let's head inside Zach's mine. Looks like this mine has a good deal of stabilizing infrastructure, and it's quite dark. There are some more rock samples and photographs in here. Those are from Stormy Mountain, Nevada. Here are various turquoise mining tools. There's also lots of paperwork when it comes to turquoise mining. It's not all fun. And those are some old stone tools used for mining before metal tools. The technology has progressed a lot. This case shows more modern tools and methods for cutting turquoise. This room is fantastic. The displays are showcased in some very fancy and unusual cases, which definitely harkens back to old school museum displays. A lot of these cabinets are probably original to the mansion, because they fit right in with the extravagance of the place. I am really enjoying the cases and furnishings of this mansion. Now that's how you embellish a turquoise exhibit. This elaborate room, which is probably the dining room, is now all about the science of turquoise. Here they claim that turquoise is the people's gemstone. Since each piece of turquoise is unique, it reflects the differences between individual humans. There are some turquoise cairns. They would be cool to find on a hike, but probably wouldn't last long. And here are some random antiques that have nothing to do with turquoise. This stuff certainly belonged to Gertrude Zachary. It's great that her stuff is left in dispersed among the turquoise exhibits. Here are some turquoise pseudomorphs. These are some examples of turquoise matrices, which happens when the host rock leaves lines and patterns on the turquoise. This is a really nice grandfather clock. This display features some turquoise stones that seem to have pictures on them based on the coloration and shape. The one on the left looks like a teepee, and the other one has a flash of lightning on it. This is the Universe Stone. It appears to show the curvature of Earth with the infinite void of space around it. That's cool. And that stone pictures an erupting volcano. Some dogs serve as rock hounds. They know how to collect rocks, and there are turquoise rock hounds. This big nugget was recovered by a dog with his mouth. Turquoise does have a fascinating blue color, just like a robin's egg in the natural world. Now I'm going to head up this fantastical staircase to the second floor. That staircase almost makes a complete spiral. The first exhibit up here is about turquoise around the world, showcasing how many different cultures around the globe have used turquoise in jewelry, art, and other forms throughout history. Turquoise was very prevalent in Persia, present-day Iran. It is their national gemstone. This is the Kerman nugget. It weighs 55 pounds and was discovered in Iran. That is a really impressive nugget, definitely one of the largest, if not the largest, in the museum. Egypt also has a plethora of turquoise. It was used by the ancient Egyptians, so there's a little turquoise pyramid there. In Europe, turquoise wasn't too common. It was pretty exclusive to royalty, who would sometimes have turquoise imported and inlaid into their jewelry and crowns. There were some deposits found in Cornwall, England. This beautiful case contains some examples of Chinese turquoise and carvings. Here are some more Chinese turquoise samples. There are plentiful deposits in the northwest section of the country. Here is some Tibetan and Nepalese turquoise art. This gilded Buddha statue is probably original to the home. Turquoise is quite popular in Chile. Here is some Mexican turquoise, mostly in areas in northern Mexico like Sonora and Baja California. Turquoise is still celebrated in Mexico today, as it was popular with the Aztecs. There's some more Mexican turquoise masks. There has long been some form of a turquoise trade throughout history. The highly sought after gemstone would be sent to far off places. Ancient turquoise has been found in locations with no natural deposits anywhere nearby. Here is a mix of exquisite pieces from around the world. That Tibetan coin belt is interesting. In the center is a Gao box, a turquoise necklace with a little box that is sometimes worn in Tibet, Nepal, Bhutan, and Mongolia. The box is used to carry written prayers. Here are some inlaid turquoise blades. The blade handles on both ends were mined here in America, but the one in the center is from China. Turquoise was also present on the Old Mohawk Trail, a historic auto trail between Boston, Massachusetts and Niagara Falls, New York. There was a trading post in Charlemont, Massachusetts on the trail, where a Navajo artist named Da Pa worked and did turquoise art. Turquoise trading has always been big here in the Southwest. Actually, the Chacoans at Chaco Canyon did have a turquoise mine there. In more recent times, The Turquoise Trail and Route 66 were developed in this region, so various trading posts on Route 66 would sell turquoise jewelry. Turquoise is a Route 66 staple. Here are some vintage advertisements for turquoise jewelry. This is a display about Native American silver jewelry. It is often used alongside turquoise. I like that candy half-dollar surrounded by turquoise and silver. Here are some turquoise trade beads, which were supplied at the historic Hubble Trading Post in Ganado, Arizona. Here are some Depression-era turquoise. The Pueblo jewelers were hit hard by the Depression, so they started making these inexpensive Thunderbird necklaces, which usually didn't include real turquoise. There's some turquoise smoking accessories. This is coral, not turquoise. It became a popular complement to turquoise in this region after the Europeans brought it from the Mediterranean. Here are some turquoise and coral inlaid seashells. And here are some examples of small turquoise chip inlays. This is the Southwest Gallery, dedicated to the wide variety of turquoise arts and jewelry produced here in the American Southwest. This scale was used by Armen Shakirian in the late 19th century to weigh silver, gold, ingots, and jewelry. Here are some belts decorated with turquoise. Some of the designs on here are really cool. I believe that is a Kachina from Zuni Pueblo. And there's a turquoise Mickey Mouse. Here are some more religious paintings original to the home. Seriously, this mansion is fantastic and worth a visit on its own, but even more so for what has to be the most comprehensive turquoise exhibition in the world. Oh my gosh! This display is about the process of cooking turquoise in wax or other oils in order to give the turquoise a slightly different coloration, maybe enhance it. I'm not an expert on this stuff. Some artisans would leave their turquoise nuggets in mason jars, and that could add hardness and color to it. These pieces of turquoise receive bad treatments. Some had not been able to dry before stabilizing, and that causes turquoise to go white and develop cracks. That's a mix of turquoise chalk from around the world. Here's some pressed block turquoise. I wonder if you could build a house or something out of turquoise. That would be cool. Glass can be cut into cabochons of turquoise. Here are some samples of turquoise imitations, necklaces that look like turquoise but don't have any real turquoise. If you're looking to buy turquoise, make sure you can get an authentic written guarantee that it is real. The owners of this museum do have some disagreements with the current verbiage of some laws regarding the sale of turquoise. They say that it can allow for some serious cheating in regards to the color and thickness that can be passed off and sold as authentic. Here is an interactive display. Visitors can scan on their phones and try to figure out which are the real turquoise stones and which are the imposters. Turquoise coloration can react to skin lotions and oils, and even jewelry polish, so it is generally best to avoid that stuff when around turquoise. Apparently it's difficult to weigh and price turquoise because there is such a variety of turquoise, and various factors can affect the price. This is a sample of True Stone. It was invented in the 1980s, and here's a turquoise bear beast. Turquoise jewelry can be quite popular with celebrities. The gemstone is featured on those magazine covers alongside a turquoise colored purse. Turquoise also reportedly has some very mystical and spiritual qualities. Many believe it can bring good luck, so there's an excuse to wear it. Native Americans especially believed it could have protective qualities, These necklaces were made by the Plains Indians for good fortune. The one on the left was likely worn by a warrior, the one on the right by a medicine man. Here are some more potentially superstitious turquoise necklaces. Some believe that wearing turquoise will prevent one from getting struck by lightning. For many Native American cultures, it would also bring strength and life to hunters who had to take out menacing big game. Also, here are some plushes of the museum's turquoise miner mascot. And this is another view of the turquoise chandelier above the entrance. It has over 21,000 turquoise beads on 94 strands. So that was the Turquoise Museum. A very comprehensive display about anything and everything you could imagine there is to know about turquoise, and then some. It is a wonderful and high quality museum, and I think it gets overlooked here in Albuquerque. So if you're interested in this cultural staple known as turquoise, or just want to go through a really interesting museum, then definitely come here. I highly recommend it. I want to thank the Lowry family, including Jacob and Joe who were both there, for their hospitality and for allowing me to showcase their museum. They know everything there is to know about turquoise. So again, I encourage both locals and outside visitors to come marvel at their collection and learn about New Mexico's favorite gemstone. If you enjoyed this video, then please like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. I have filmed many other videos about museums, roadside attractions, national parks, and much more here in Albuquerque, around New Mexico, and all over the country. Thanks for watching.